Sir, we are truly thankful to have you here with us today. Good morning and Assalamu alaikum delegates. We welcome you to the 15th edition of the Acmun College Model United Nations Conference. After 16 successful years in the local and international circuit, the Acmun Society has established itself as the premier high school MUN society in South Asia. We will begin this ceremony with the recitation and translation of the Holy Quran done by Masood Rahman.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah. To commemorate the 15th anniversary of the Acmun Conference, we have an extremely special individual with us today as our chief guest. Mia Raza Mancha is Pakistan's top businessman and financial expert, known for his leadership and ownership in the Nishat Group and MCB. He serves as the CEO and the DG of Khan Cement and Nishat Paper Products, while also holding key positions in the MCB Bank and several other companies. With over 26 years of experience in business management and corporate strategies, Mr. Mancha has been instrumental in driving the growth of multiple industries in Pakistan, making him a respected figure in the country's economic landscape. Now, I would like to invite our honorable chief guest, Mr. Mia Raza Mancha, to grace the podium with his presence and enlighten us with his mission.
Good afternoon. Just to give you a little bit of background, actually my two boys, they also went to Acmun College and they were here for junior school and no longer here. And also in terms of my own background, I went to the University of Pennsylvania and I studied international relations, which I guess is relevant to today's forum. International relations is a combination of history, political science and economics. Honorable Principal of Acmun College, President of Acmun College Model United Nations Society, esteemed delegates, distinguished guests and friends, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as the chief guest of this prestigious Model United Nations Conference. As we gather here, united in our shared passion for diplomacy, peace and global cooperation, I am reminded of the importance of the work that all of you are doing this week. You are not just participating in a simulation, you are contributing to the real world conversation about how we can address some of the most pressing issues facing humanity today. In this room, we have future diplomats, leaders, policymakers, and change makers. While today's discussions are part of a simulation, the problems you will be debating are not hypothetical. Climate change, global health, poverty, human rights, conflict resolution and sustainable development are all challenges that shape our world. The decisions made at forums like the United Nations have a direct impact on millions of lives across the globe. And as you take on the roles of diplomats and engage in these important discussions, you are not only learning about the complexity of international relations, but also about the importance of empathy, negotiation, and the pursuit of common ground. The world today is more interconnected than ever before. In our rapidly changing world, challenges transcend borders. No nation, no matter how powerful, can solve the problems alone. From the urgent needs to address climate change to ongoing struggles for human rights in different parts of the world, the road ahead requires collective action. And that's where the leaders of tomorrow come in. Your ability to think critically, communicate effectively, and work collaboratively will shape the future of the international community. This week, as you step into the shoes of diplomats representing different nations, I encourage you to embrace the spirit of the United Nations itself, working together despite differences, respecting diverse perspectives, and finding solutions that are fair and just for you all. The world doesn't need more division, it needs more dialogue. It needs more people like you who are willing to listen, learn, and lead. You may not have all the answers today, but by engaging with each other, by debating and by compromising, you are taking the first steps towards becoming the leaders who will tackle the world's most complex issues. Whether in the field of global health, international law, or conflict resolution, your work here will lay the groundwork for solutions we need in the future. I am confident that the insights and ideas you shared during the conference will contribute to the broader conversation on how we can build a more powerful, peaceful, equitable, and sustainable world for all. Today, I would like to briefly speak about Pakistan's position in the world and the critical issues it faces, issues that we will be discussing and debating during this conference. First and foremost, Pakistan's foreign policy is deeply anchored in the need for national security. Pakistan's security concerns are shaped by a number of factors, most notably its relationship with neighboring India, with whom it has had a long-standing territorial dispute over the region of Kashmir. The Kashmir issue remains one of the central tenets of Pakistan's foreign policy. It is not a question of territorial integrity, but also the right of Kashmiri people who continue to suffer under the unresolved conflict. As Pakistani delegates, you must keep in mind the profound humanitarian dimensions of this issue as you approach international discussions. Pakistan's strategic position also places it at the crossroads of Central Asia and the Middle East. The situation in Afghanistan has had a direct impact on Pakistan's security landscape, and its role on peace and stability in the region remains critical. As representatives of Pakistan, you must understand the delicate balance between addressing regional security concerns and fostering regional cooperation. Another aspect of Pakistan's foreign policy is its enduring partnership with China, known as the strategic alliance, often described as quote-unquote all-weather. This relationship spans economic, military, diplomatic spheres. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, is a vital project that strengthens this bilateral partnership by enhancing trade, connectivity, and infrastructure. This is an example of how countries can collaborate to build mutual prosperity. And as delegates, you must recognize the significance of international collaborations in addressing both regional and global challenges. Pakistan has always maintained a foreign policy that champions peace, stability, and dialogue. Its relationship with the Middle East, particularly Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, are based on shared interests in regional security, economic cooperation, and religious ties. However, Pakistan has also been constantly advocating for peaceful resolutions of conflicts in the region, including ongoing situations in Yemen and Syria, and has urged global actors to play a constructive role in reducing tensions. Similarly, Pakistan believes in peaceful South Asia and continues to extend an olive branch to India, despite challenges being faced in bilateral relations. The path to peace is never easy, but Pakistan remains committed to engaging in dialogue with the hope of diplomacy can resolve even the most intractable conflicts. Pakistan has always believed in the importance of human rights and justice, from advocating the rights of minorities and the oppressed people around the world to ensuring that the voices of the most vulnerable are heard. Pakistan has been a constant supporter of international efforts to promote human dignity. The plight of the Palestinian people, challenges faced by refugees, and the struggles of ethnic and religious minorities have all been important aspects of Pakistan's foreign policy. As delegates, you must uphold these principles, seeking not just national interests but also a vision of a world where human rights and social justice are upheld for all, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or religion. It is essential to recognize the challenges we face, whether they be climate change, poverty, conflict, demand a united cooperative response. Pakistan is an active member of the United Nations and other multilateral organizations such as the Organization for Islamic Cooperation, OIC, the Commonwealth, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC. As delegates, you should understand that Pakistan believes in the power of multilateralism, working with the international community to address common challenges. At the heart of Pakistan's approach to diplomacy is the belief in peaceful coexistence and collective action. From advocating for climate change action to promoting sustainable development goals, Pakistan seeks to play a positive and constructive role in addressing global challenges. In closing, I would like to thank the organizers of this event for their hard work in bringing us all together. I want to congratulate each of you for your commitment to the cause. I hope you will leave this conference with a sense of pride and what has been accomplished, and with a renewed determination to carry forward the ideals of diplomacy, international cooperation in your future endeavors. Thank you, and I wish all of you a successful and enlightening modern experience.
Thank you, sir, for your invaluable words.
That is in order. Time parameters. 60 seconds. All those in motion please in the placards. Delegate of Vietnam.
Thank you for the recognition, honorable guest. The delegate of Vietnam will activate a motion for a consultation of poll with time parameters 15 minutes. With special honorees, the delegate of Vietnam will select the next speaker.
Alright. Are there any other motions on the floor? Delegate of Indonesia.
Delegate of Indonesia would like to make a motion for a mod unmod for time parameters 60 minutes with special honorees, and the dais will select a certain member to ask questions to the previous speaker, and the member who has spoken will choose the person to speak next.
Delegate, can you please repeat your time parameters?
16 minutes actually, it's a mod unmod.
Alright, then. Delegate of Iran, can you repeat your time parameters?
60 seconds.
Delegates, the simple majority in this committee is of 21 delegates. You need 21 votes to pass the motion.
Word of point on right? Yes, sir. Will documentation also be following a similar rule, or will that follow differently?
Regarding the documentation, there will be 2/3 majority. With that, we have your point.
Are vetoes in order?
Vetoes point be in order. With that, we have motions already on the floor. The first motion by the delegate of Indonesia for a mod unmod of 16 minutes. All those in favor, please raise your placard. The simple majority is 21 for the motion to pass.
Word of point on right? These special ROPs.
This motion passes. Delegate of Indonesia, who is the delegate of Indonesia? Who is the delegate? Would you want to amend it to consultation of the whole with special order, please? With special order, please. Fine. And in this, the days will choose the next speaker for mod unmod, and the special order, please, are in order. Ford, you starting as delegate of France.
Special ROP must be reiterated.
Delegate, would you like to reiterate the special order, please, exactly?
The special RPs which are there will ask for. There will be a question asked to the delegate that has spoken, chosen by the dais, and there will be the next person.
Thank you for the clarification. With that, you have the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at a standstill where crisis is among us. There are three simple.
By Morocco, Algeria, Philippines, Ukraine, and KSA. We have formed a coalition which is operating as a joint action task force and has been deployed along the borders of Russia and Ukraine. unless Russia begins removing its troops from Ukraine. This task force will launch a military offense against all Russian troops present within Ukraine. We invite the USA to join us in our efforts. With that, are there any points?
And the 16th General Secretary of the Acmun Society, Ayan Salim Rana, to please address the gathering.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected Principal, dear Bursar, Honorable Chief Guest, the staff and helpers of Acmun College, and my dear fellows. Good afternoon and Assalamu Alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here today not only as 16th General Secretary of the Acmun Society, but as a friend to my batchmates, a hope for my parents and teachers, and a debtor to my seniors. Our sheer determination and effort, not only of the last 3 months, but of the last 15 years, has allowed us to present to you the most awaited edition of the Acmun College Model United Nations Conference, Acmun 15. From witnessing the greatest Acmans to being a part of the M1 host team. At Acmun 11, I was sitting in the auditorium, and at that moment, I could have never imagined that I would be one to address 820 delegates anywhere, let alone representing Acmun itself in 2024. From that room to my walk to this podium, my mind still fails to comprehend all of my journey of the past 4 years. And I think that I will take certainly a lot of time after this conference to reminisce about that. Delegates, this might be the last time I'm allowed to present on the podium, so I would request you to bear with me for a few more minutes. It is true when we say that the Acmun Society is a brotherhood, and most importantly, an identity. An identity that we will carry with great pride, an identity that we respect, an identity that we call family. This very family would be incomplete without those very people sitting on the dais over there. My AC, the family that has led me for these past 4 years, Jandad, Alawal, Musa, Zuhair. Thank you boys, my journey would be leaves harder without your effort and you being by my side. My dear President, Jandad Irfan, the time we spent in the Ops Directorate, the time we spent roaming the school in preparation for the Acmun Conference, Acmun 14, Acmun 13, Acmun 12, and Acmun 11, it has been a dream. And I think that we see the totality of this dream coming to its end. My dear President, you have my eternal thanks for standing up for what is right. Even though it might be difficult, but you have stood for us, you have stood for the Acmun Society, and you have stood for Acmun College in all its times of need. Musa, Zuhair, Alawal, thank you for being part of this journey. You're all truly exceptional individuals. I know that Acmun 15 would have not been possible was it not for Zuhair's cricket matches or Alawal's wisecracking or Musa's incessant mood swings. Ladies and gentlemen, these are fine and truly exceptional individuals, and I request that all of you give a great round of applause. Moving on, I'd like to request the H2s standing there at the back of the hall. Rizvi, Sadduq, Dastagir, Hadi Beg, Kesar, Kamil, Hamza, Sajid, part the entirety of the Tajuddin cabinet. The list goes on. I could stay here noting down the names of Daniel as well. Daniel's over there standing. I could have noted down all of their names and spent the entirety of the Acmun Conference just listing down their names. But then again, as time passes, we have to move on. And as this 15th edition commences, we are indebted to our worthy principal, Dr. Sayyid Muhammad Turab Hussain, for his great guidance and consistent recognition of the Acmun Society and its efforts and the Acmun Conference. Alongside that, I'd like to commend our dear Bursar Sahab. Thank you, Dr. Khalidun, for being a part of this society. You have given us everything that we've ever needed. Our headmistress, Madam Amma Kamran, you've been our first staff advisor. You are our staff advisor in heart till the very end with Madam Shazia. You are our most integral pillar of support. The other pillar of support, apart from my executive council and the entirety of Acmun College, you yourself are a great gift from God to this school and to this institution. Thank you, ma'am, for entrusting me with this honor to be your General Secretary. I hope I have and I will continue to uphold and do justice to this post. Delegates, addressing this to you, I hope that before we delve into this course, my final message to you all would be not to think about the gavels or the tangibles that you will receive, or maybe a shield as well, but rather to relive and live again the memories that you've garnered within this conference. The memories and the friendships that you may make right now might last with you for the eternity of time. That's the only thing that will last for a lifetime. And before I give my concluding statement, I'd like to give one final message to my juniors. There is a reason why we call this our society, not your society or my society. The reason is because we are again a brotherhood. I request to all of you to treat us as your own. As always, to think about the memories and friendships that you've made here. Treat it as your own, keep your bond intact, and make sure that you all, no matter what, remember that stand for what is noble, stand for what is right. We have stood here for the past 15 years because of the very unity. We have stood here for the past 16 conferences because of this, and I request and I hope that we will stand here till the eternity of time because of this very unity and brotherhood that we have managed to craft. It is not only me or the Executive Council that makes the Acmun Society. It is the 150 juniors that makes the Acmun Society. It is us, it is the administration that makes the Acmun Society. Make us proud, and please keep fighting the noblest of fights. Stand for what is right, never bow down to what is wrong, and make sure that you are always entangled with whatever is the system. Delegates, I have been rehearsing this one single line since 12 p.m. today, and I request that you hear this. I, Ayan Salim Rana, in addition to what Zuhair has already said and opened the conference, would like to request the entirety of the Acmun Executive Council to please join me on the stage as I open the 15th edition of the Acmun 15th conference. I, Ayan Salim Rana, 16th General Secretary of the Acmun United Nations Conference and 15th Secretary General, now declare this conference open, and may God's blessings and peace be upon you. Thank you very much.
commemoration of our 15th anniversary. The Acmun Protocol will protect delegates from conventional best delegate standards and will serve as the primary metric for awards by prioritizing debate quality over other metrics. The Acmun Protocol emphasizes the importance of diplomacy and strategy in an MUN committee. And with that, delegates, I am proud to welcome you all to the 15th edition of the Acmun Conference. Thank you and best of luck for your respective committees. You all are requested to remain seated as the Chief Guest exits the hall.